Greetings and salutations, friends and family. In this episode, we're joined by Barbara and Andrew as we sail around the islands of eastern Puerto Rico. Our journey begins in San Juan, where we're picked up by a van that takes us to Fajardo, where we'll get the boat. Along the way, we also stop by to pick up provisions at this grocery store. And I was amazed to see something I'd never seen before on a grocery store shelf. Shelf-stable squid. After filling up a grocery cart with groceries, we loaded back up into the van and headed over to Puerto del Rey, where our boat awaited us.
It's again. All right.
It's already started. You don't have to.
Oh.
Just come and get the. You gonna wave? Nope. You're not gonna wave. Alrighty.
I can't in the position I'm in.
To kill time before departure and checkout, we walked the docks and found some very interesting boat names. This one's our favorite. Our boat was this Oceanus 41.1 made by Beneteau. The next morning we were greeted with a beautiful sunrise. After breakfast and getting checked out by the captain and cleared through the charter company, we set sail.
Okay, so things have finally settled down. We're actually sailing with the engine off. Everyone is relaxing. Andrew has fed the fish. And there's Calibra. There's where we came from.
The next morning we were greeted with another beautiful sunrise off the western coast of Calibra. After having another delicious breakfast, we untied the mooring lines and sailed over to the Ensenada Honda, where we would spend the next 2 nights. After some issues with the dinghy, we were able to make it over to the dinghy dock and get ready to hike over to the other side of the island to Flamenco Beach. Thanks to some very friendly people on the island, we were able to get a ride over to Flamenco Beach and didn't have to walk the entire way. Flamenco Beach is a very beautiful beach with white sand stretching for quite a distance. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do any snorkeling that day because of the very rough chop. The next morning, we were once again greeted by a beautiful sunrise. Now, since the dinghy had broke down and we were waiting for the charter company to come in to fix the outboard motor on it, we decided to motor over to Calabrita, a little island just east of Calibra.
To stand around watching other people do mooring balls and coming into dock and stuff like that. Yeah, we used to do that too. Yeah.
The charter company reassured us that we'd be able to moor in close to the beach and be able to swim in to enjoy this island and hike to the top lighthouse.
Yeah. So we're going there. It says 15-minute walk. Then we got South Beach, aka Snorkeling Beach, 10 minutes. Hey, I like how they give times instead of distance.
I was just going to say, is this Puerto Rican time?
And the trail we got lost from. Oh, by the way, that's our boat over there. Not the big catamaran, but the little tiny one. So we got lost, but we're coming up the hill. We think we found the way.
This way, all the way.
We were just talking about all the butterflies.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, they're eating that little piece. Oh, they were eating. That big one's eating that piece of fruit there.
Now that that foot's off of me, I think I'm going to come out.
Oh, the big blue one's moving. Oh, he's eating. He's eating that piece of fruit. There's the old lighthouse.
The El Faro Lighthouse is the only remaining Spanish-era structure in the Culebra archipelago. Construction of the lighthouse began in 1882 and was completed in 1886. The Spanish crown built the lighthouse to help secure its claim over the main island of Culebra. It is the most eastern lighthouse outside mainland Puerto Rico. It was one of the oldest operating lighthouses in the Caribbean until 1975, when the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard finally closed the facility. The United States Coast Guard has replaced the lighthouse with a solar-powered light beacon. Culebrita Lighthouse is registered on the U.S. National Register of Historical Places. However, no work has been done to maintain the facility. In 1989, Hurricane Hugo caused extensive damage, and in 1995, the tower was destroyed by Hurricane Marilyn. The Culebra Foundation, started in 1994, has tried to attract local and federal attention to save the lighthouse, but they have had little success. Presently, the lighthouse is in danger of collapsing.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
After our adventures in Culebra and Culebrita, it was time to head south to Vieques. Our trip took us along the eastern end of the island and then following it along the southern end of the island up to Esperanza.
Here we are, and here we stand.
Esperanza is known for its access to the beautiful bioluminescence bay, which we got the opportunity to go see. And Andrew was getting the munchies, so we stopped at this grocery store and Terry found this very unique Puerto Rican wine.
Okay, here we have authentic Puerto Rican substandard American grape wine. Truth in advertising.
Esperanza is home to this neat hotel called The Block. They were closed for the off-season, but they still let us go in and explore. After exploring the block, we went over to enjoy a beautiful sunset before our bus would pick us up to take us to see the bioluminescence bay. I tried to take video of the bioluminescence bay, but there wasn't enough light for my camera to pick up. If you do find yourself in Esperanza, I highly recommend that you do take the trip.
Dinoflagellate is a word composed of two. Dino, dynamic movement, and flagellate because they have two flagellums. One along their body that makes them spin, and one on the bottom that makes them swim. But they can swim randomly. They cannot control where they're going. They're plankton. So you're going to notice that some areas of the bay glows brighter than others because it has a higher concentration of the organism, right? So another thing before we leave, guys, try to take all of these pictures and videos that you've seen in the internet off your mind, because the camera records this bioluminescence in a color that is not the real thing. It records it like neon blue, and that's not the real thing, okay guys? For me it's more like lime green or whitish, but you tell me when we get out, you tell me what you think, alright? Sounds good? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this.
After the bioluminescence bay, we headed back to the boat to get a good night's sleep before slipping the mooring lines and heading further down the coast. The next morning, you guessed it, we were greeted by another beautiful sunrise. I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing this. Our next destination was just a little ways down the island to Green Beach.
Squirrel!
We like to play on the beach.
I think this one still has the animal in it. It's a beautiful shell.
Beautiful.
After dinging the shore, we took a short walk over to the ceiba tree. By short, I mean, around 9.5 miles.
So we are here.
Last night?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't
there was
see
a bigger
that.
one. Yeah.
So is it a colony or a gag?
I don't know, they're all crabs to me.
Oh.
Along the way, we saw one of the most famous landmarks on Vieques, the wild horses.
Hello, little guy.
The ceiba tree is one of the most beloved trees in Puerto Rico, and Vieques has a very special tree. This one is a little over 300 years old. This tree has become such a sacred site for locals and a must-see for visitors. A group of volunteers from the community created a natural park around the tree, and it's a great place for kids and children to play and relax. There also is an informative poster about the tree.
Oh,
Oh, great. Thank you for sharing.
up and there's the kids climbing around again. Wow.
The next morning, it was time for us to lift anchor and head back to Fajardo, for our week-long adventure had come to an end. This vacation was the first vacation in a very long time that I did not want to head home from. I can see why people love this lifestyle, and one day, Terry and I are going to live it too. But until then, it's time to head back to work to pay off this vacation.
Bye-bye, boat.
That's about all. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. If you're not subscribed already, hit that red button. And remember to hit the bell icon to be notified when our next video is released. Until next time.